Hello, everyone. Welcome to another great session. Is your host Mercy. In this channel, we'll talk about law practice, tips for excellent practice. We share ideas on how you can become an excellent lawyer, how you can, carry out your practice in the most decent and a dignifying way while making, you know, enormous profit at the end of the day. We also bring in people to discuss many other issues that may help you in becoming better in whatever you're doing. So today we're looking at how to draft a constitution of an organization, an NGO. As a lawyer, many at times, and some of the briefs people who can bring to you, your organization, your church, where you work, is that maybe this set of people is an organization that are trying to, you know, get incorporated. Can you help with the organization, with the constitution, or you where you stay, the association they want to do a constitution that will bind them. There are a lot of organizations here and there, big, small, that always want a constitution. And once you're a lawyer, they always want to, hey, lawyer, please help us draft this thing or help us navigate through how we're going to arrive at having a good constitution that will guide our affairs. Now, to do that, there are basic things that a constitution should contain. Now, the only difference in it is that depending on what you're drafting or the situation or the circumstances, maybe if you're drafting for a church, the language might differ. Rather, when you're drafting for an NGO or a normal association, maybe landlords tenants association, a school PTA meeting, it just depends on the circumstances, but the structure remains the same. So the language is what matters, because what you will put in a church might be different from what you put in a normal, maybe a community association, or a neighborhood association constitution. Now, basically, every constitution will have a preamble. What is the preamble? When you introduce that association, you introduce that association, what their beliefs is all about. And now, the first article in the constitution should be the name. What is the name of this organization? You put down their name. The second article should be where is their headquarters situated, where is their function, with the functional office, or maybe the secretariat. You can put it there. It's very, 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 very important. Then the third article is where you state the statement of faith of the association. The statement of faith of the association is very important. You state it, what is their belief, what do they believe in, or what is the purpose of that association is very, 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 very important. The next article you will look at is the aims and objectives. What is the aims and objectives of this association? What do they want to achieve? If it's a church, for example, you need to state their religious um, goals and visions in terms of what they want to do, how they want to carry out their activities, how they want to reach out, and all of that. If it's a normal NGO or an association, maybe neighborhood association, for example, community, you need to state why they are gathering, why they have come to form a body, to foster unity and all of that. You need to put it in. If it's no matter how long it is, 10, 15 aims and objectives, you put it in, what they want to do, why they have gathered, their intention, their goals, what they want to give back to the society, and all of that. You put it there. Then the next article should be the membership. Who qualifies to be a member of this organization? How do they get their members, or who, from how will one become a bona fide member? The next article should now look at disqualification of member. What are those things a person will do that will make him or her not to be a member? Or you can call it the financial implications of being a member, or maybe what makes one a member is a financial contribution, depending on the setting of what the constitution you're drafting. Now, the method by which this membership can be done, or method of admission, how do one become a member in terms of how do we now recognize you? What is the process? Some organization will tell you need to come to the meeting 3 times, or you need to be a resident of a particular community, or just there are criteria for admission. All this will be noted. Then the next article should be are the officers, who are going to be the officers of the organization, the officers. Are we going to do the executive committee and all of that? Or now you also look at the election of the officers. How will they be elected? What is their duration? Who elects them? Will that be an electoral body constituted separately? Who constitutes that? So all this should be under election of officers. So the next article you have to put into consideration is their bylaws. You know, it states why the constitution, the essence of the constitution. you know. Now, I also look at the tenure of office of the officers to be elected. How long will their tenure, span through? Then, what are their duties? These duties is very key. Each of the executive member or the officers to be elected will have specific duties. So, under president, you need to note maybe five or just in summary what the work or the duties of a president is: the vice, the general secretary, there's an assistant secretary, financial secretary, treasurer, PRO, all those officers, depending on how many officers have been agreed, you can have five, six, depending welfare, you can have provost, depending on whatever is agreed. Many people will not want to have financial secretary and have treasurer. So, okay, let's just do treasurer, depending on choice. But whichever one they have agreed, you need to list out their functions per officer. Then you also look at the meeting. Meeting is very important. How many meetings will they be conducting a year? Is it monthly? And types of meeting they can call, could be executive meeting, emergency meeting, annual general meeting, depending. So you need to streamline and the venue of meeting. Also look at the quorum to be formed in any meeting. It's very important. How many people will be in a meeting to say the quorum has been formed? Look at the meeting schedules. Very, very important. When will it be held? Who will always chair the meeting, in the absence of the president, who can step in and all of that. Then you look at the funding. How do you fund the organization? Is it by contribution of dues? This is very important. How is the dues contributed? Who pays what? What's the deadline for payment? This is where you're not putting all those details. Very important. Then look at the bankers. This is where you look at which bank does a association or the organization is going to bank with, and if there's going to be a change in the modalities in terms of their banking operations, who and who, okay, is it only the president that will be a signatory? All those details, the secretary and the president, peradventure there's a change in tenure, what happens? So these are the things you consider under the bankers. Then you also look at another article should be the auditors. Should the association be audited? Who invites the auditors? Who invites the auditors, and at what point should they be invited? Also look at the board of trustees. Does the association have a board of trustees? Who constitutes those board of trustees and who are they? Then a board of a trustee member. How the tenure of the office, should they hold it forever or every 2 years or 1 year? These are, should they be, who appoints them? So these are the things you will also have to note. Then vacancy of office. You need to also note peradventure one of the executive members or the officers, vacates or resigns, or for a reason is incapacitated to function. How will that be resolved so that there will not be what vacuum? Look at the common seal. Look at, does the association have a common seal? Who will be in custody of those seal, the documents of the association, and all of that. Also, it's very important, just like I mentioned earlier, that the language of the constitution determines whether it's a church, whether it's an association, constitution, a bylaw. It depends. Or if you just be for a community in an urban area, they want to have an association. Whatever the wordings will be determines the choice of what you will use. But basically, all I have stated represents the body structure of what a constitution will be. So sometimes you can change the board of trustees to governing council, depending on what is, depending on the circumstance. So, but the structure remains the same. So when someone approaches you to help me draft a constitution, you don't need to be confused. This guideline, this template will help you have a wonderful structure, and it will encapsulate all their intentions And at the end of the day, you do a very good job. You know, worthy of an excellent lawyer. I just hope you've learned something in today's class. If you have any question, please drop them in the comment section. We will treat them. We implore you to subscribe to the channel, join the growing family. We have other contents on the channel that will be very beneficial to you. Just go to the channel. We have various contents in their hundreds that will be very beneficial to you. When you watch them, you'll be glad that you did. Thank you and do stay safe.